Do you think that some of these new rules are going to work? A $10 million fine will be enough to curb tampering?
No. Okay, look, the $10 million fine to me does nothing. There's actually a couple of details in the memo that was circulated around to teams that they're going to vote on that I think could affect some behavior, although I think it's probably just going to drive tampering further underground. Like the burner phone industry is going to do very well. But honestly, the only things that I saw in that memo that I think would actually have an effect on tampering is teams, it makes it easier for people to anonymously turn in teams for tampering, so that there's other avenues now. It's not as formal a declaration for teams to turn other teams in. And there are the proposition that says 5 teams could be randomly selected for an audit every single year. If you feel like there could be a random audit and then you have to keep all of your communication with players for a year, that is a big deterrent. Now, this is something that they are going to vote on. And I think really what the NBA is saying to its teams is, how far do you really want to go with this? Because the NBA owners have shown time and time again that they are concerned about the slippery slope of privacy. If you start subpoenaing people, subpoenaing, okay, in the NBA parlance, you start making people turn over their phone records, you may not like what they find.
I meant what I said. You go tell James Harden you want to check his DMs. Let me know how that goes. Right? Tell Michelle Roberts, the NBA Players Association president, we're just going to demand that all your players turn over all their personal items.
Right. Damian Lillard said it best this summer. He signed his deal. He said the player relationships are more important than they've ever been. Guys talk all the time. The team pitch meeting and how people from organizations go at other players, that doesn't matter as much as players talking to each other. And the league is never going to take that out of the game unless they start fining players. And you want to talk about slippery slopes. If the league is hell-bent on getting rid of this and is going to start fining players and going through their phone records, then we have something to talk about. But until that happens, nothing's going to change.
That is one of the proposals, okay, that I don't think has any chance of ever passing.
No chance.
$250,000 fine for a player who is found to have tampered or had a legal contract.
How are you going to?
And I think what the larger issue is here is there's 3 elements of this. There are players involved in free agency, agents involved in free agency, and teams. If you're only addressing one of the 3 elements, if you're only addressing the team element, then players and agents are still free to do whatever they want. And you don't have enforceability power if you're the NBA over agents and over players.
Look, we have to look also at where all this comes from, right? Teams who want to say, in Adam Silver's words when he talked about it this summer, they want to know that it's fair. They want to know that there's a level playing field. It's not actually level. The playing field isn't level. And you know how I know?
Please.
You know how I know that? Because the cost for the LA Clippers was $2 billion. And the cost to buy the Milwaukee Bucks was a fraction of that. And the reason is that the Clippers are in a different location that has the potential to attract different kind of players, different kind of fans, different kind of revenue, right, from TV and other stuff like that. It's not a level playing field. So instead of trying to correct an uncorrectable problem and trying to pen players in with first well, if we bribe them, we can determine what they do. Well, if we cut off their phones, we can determine what they do. Just acknowledge where we are and try to address that as opposed to trying to go around it. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.